who killed in a home area.
Right.
They killed him. And his mother is 48.
Oh my goodness.
You
This
know,
guy is breaking down all different gematria patterns that add up into 48.
Yeah, and you know, just a few days before, in upstate of New York, there's a bus collapsed. In where?
Yeah.
In 48A and between 48A and 49.
Yeah.
There's another 48.
Wow.
And also in north of Boston, there are states, New Hampshire, what hospital that state? Let me see.
Look where the chat is here. Welcome to live chat. Remember, oh, I see. Nobody's in the chat. All right. Very good. Very good. We are live at YouTube. It is approximately 3 p.m. in New York City, 2025 on 9/11. As you see, they allowed a whopping dozen or so signs to be placed out on part of SE Street, when prior to that, the entire street from there all the way to there was ours. Then they wonder why I'm asking for a white shirt, not a 40-something-year-old freaking sergeant, when he wants us to completely take down the only thing we've ever been told that you can plug in that we're allowed to have, which was a TV. What I mean by that is our microphones, we were told no. Anything that amplifies in terms of plugging in or using a battery that, you know, like a bullhorn, no. That's what we were told. And you know what? We made it work. We made it work through loud ass lungs, people with loud pipes like myself and Red Pill Ken. We made it happen with people like our boy Ross there, NYC, head of Truth for 9/11, who's got all of these wonderful. They're because they're 4-color process. They don't look like some joker took them to Kinko's and ran them off on a, on whatever. You know, they actually look worth looking at, and that's why you see folks looking at them. I don't know why I wasn't back here to begin with. I should have been doing this, filming people looking at them. This way, especially the people that aren't happy, the glowies that may be watching this, not just now live, but later, especially later, that may be seeing this. They can actually do their own little bit of market. Not that people give a crap. It's that you just took our entire block. That line that goes about 15 feet, that would have went from Building 7 right there, from that wall all the way. Yes, and all the way from the end, all the way back to that wall. I mean, so far I've been insulted by a freaking Christian that I had I didn't have to talk to that dude. You know what I mean? Oh shit, I didn't have to talk to that dude. You know what I mean? But I talked to him because I'm 46 years old and he's like 21. You know what I mean? Explain to him how there's 4,000 plus different denominations of Christianity, and each one of them 4,000 plus has the right idea. They have the right answer, and now his did too. And you know what I mean? We prayed, everything was supposed to be all good, and when he didn't agree with me about there's 5 things. It's very simple. It's in the Bible. I mean, there's 5 things you need to do to be, because he was asking me dumb shit. He was trying to, they're loaded questions. He was trying to ask me loaded questions about theology. And he didn't know that I'm a theology major, basically. You know, he picked the wrong guy. You know, it's like a cop turned into an attorney on a regular, stop. You know, he totally just had the wrong person. So whatever. I mean, I didn't flex that bad on him. But he asked me like, okay, such and such, would you say they're saved? And I said, well, I should have said that's for you to ask him or her. But I didn't say that. I said, well, that's not really for me to say. I don't feel it is. It's like I just told you before. I'm not even a Christian. So how would I say that it's for somebody to be saved? Sounds like something that's going through your head, you know? Sounds like, matter of fact, for real, it doesn't sound like we're having a discussion about God at all. It sounds like we're having a discussion about judging people. You know? That's why the very last thing he said was, have fun burning in hell. And that's when I turned around and I said, that is exactly what I'm talking about. You Christians, not all of you, but I told them, you Christians that act like you're Christians, don't ever act like you're Christians. When the camera's on, you act like Christians. When the camera's off, you lose your freaking control. You lose your temper. Check this out. In the About section of this DLive channel, well, this is a YouTube channel, but I'm on DLive. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at DLive. MC_dirtywork at DLive. 10 till 2 p.m. Eastern Standard for the last 5 years. I mean, we're there like clockwork. Okay? I don't mean all Christians, but I told him, you know, that's the problem with all Christians. You know what I mean? I'm walking away. You know what I mean? I'm walking away so I don't literally punch this dude in the face. I mean, I got it on camera, you know what I mean? You'll see whatever, but the point is, you know what I mean? He's telling me to rot in hell. You're going to burn in hell. Have fun burning in hell, huh? And I said, well, why are you? I said, if you're so Christian, wouldn't you be sad that I'm going to burn in hell? Wouldn't you be literally praying for me and not just saying, I'll pray for you? You know, that fucking condescending horse shit. Just goes to more doing, talking, gum bumping, but not acting. So yeah. Then I told him about Acts 2:30. Acts, I think it was 2:34. Because I told him, I said, all right, let's be real about this. You're asking me, are they saved? Are they saved? All right. What does saved even mean? I said, let's just go by your book and see what it says. All right. Saved. If you go to Acts and John and different books that I can't name right off the top of my head, you go to them and first you have to hear the word. Very simple. You can't believe the word if you don't hear the word. Hearing that word, you must believe the word. Having believed that word and accepted that word, in order to do what he was asking me, do you think this person is reborn? Do you think that person is reborn? I said, there's no think. I mean, it's in the Bible. Did you read it? You know, it's not think or not. It's not kind of reborn. It's not mostly reborn. You either are or aren't. After you believe that, you have to, not just for a little celebration, but as a milestone, as literally a part of being initiated into being a Christian. That's why they used to refer to him, if you go to the Portage Church of Christ, they call it this dude. No, it is sprinkling, and that is for you know. That's when I asked him how old he was. He wouldn't tell me how old he was. I gave him a piece of my literature, 9/11 truth literature. He looked at it for 2 seconds and threw it down. What happened to an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth? My final point to him is, at the end of my prayer, it was, you know, I know God exists, But I'll never understand a God that would give you eternity in hell for 70 years of messing up on a planet that takes you 20 years just to learn how to live on to begin with. Oh, well, you could get eternity in paradise. I don't think God uses stupid freaking other side of the pendulum BS's like that just to justify anything of his. But if he did, I'm not into Atlantic City. I'm not into Vegas. You know, I'll take the 40 years, or I'm sorry, I've been here 46 years. If I was to croak right now, I'll take the 46 years that I actually put in for. And I'm not trying to parlay. I'm not trying to, you know what I mean, go to the $100 poker table and play Keno and flip this. No. I got enough vices. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that I'm, and he didn't know what to say about that. Quite frankly, he didn't know what to say when we were halfway even into the prayer that I had. I mean, quite frankly, I think he was so bent that my prayer sounded so much more reasonable than whatever the heck, not prayer, but whatever the heck bullshit his gums were bumping, He felt stupid, and that's his fault for coming down here on 9/11 and undermining that day by coming down here and kicking your stupid fucking shit. And he was kicking it for like 20 minutes. It's like, yo, B, can you see my shirt? You see I'm a little fucking busy? What, did you think you were going to come down here and fucking come to a 9/11 truth advocate and freaking start kicking some God shit on freaking 9/11, the one day in 2025 where the mainstream media, you know how much mainstream media gave to 9/11 last year? 2 minutes and 14 seconds. That's how much ABC gave to 9/11 last year. 2 minutes and 14 seconds. 2 minutes and 14 seconds. What are we pointing at here? I'm curious. Inquiring minds want to know. What are we looking at here? It's interesting. Back in 2004, it was a lot more than 2 minutes and 13 seconds. I'll tell you that much. Then again, by then, the polls said that over 80% of Americans thought they were being lied to about at least the cover-up. And then they just didn't take that poll anymore. They stopped taking that poll. It was 33%, 2002, it was 40-something percent, 2003, 50% thought that we had been lied to in some way, shape, or form by the cover-up. By 2006, it was 76%. They said, we need to stop having this poll. The reality is it's 2025. Anybody who thinks 19 Arabs knocked down these buildings just hasn't looked into it. They haven't went on YouTube. And that's YouTube today, censored to the hilt. Even matter what I say, because it's like less than 100 people out here. Out of 100, of you are listening. Out of them 30, half of y'all can grip your head around it, and half of them give a shit. How's that for reality? I need a fucking soda or a goddamn iced tea or something before I just Look how the pigs even left, because there's just nothing to fucking watch. This is how it gets at 3 o'clock, friends. This was all us. Look at that. I feel like, I don't even know what I feel some sort of way. That's not even 2 car lengths. That's almost 2 small car lengths of schematics. As where this, from here all the way down, I'm not going to walk the whole way, but all the way down here would have been all those schematics, only from here all the effing way down there. Then they have the balls to send a 20-year-old in a black shirt and a freaking 43-year-old alcoholic-looking boy that didn't even bother getting a shave to come to work in the fucking NYPD, who tried to act like a woman talking about, oh, you put your finger on me. Man, don't put your finger on me, they said. I put my finger on your bulletproof vest. My word. You're going to go to court, tell the judge, arrested me for assaulting you, and both of our cameras are on? Oh, wow. It's such a trip. So, this is just being a cop, just chilling in that little box thing. Look at those things. They put them up and getting through that shit. They do some ill skateboard shit on there. Some ill transition tricks. Kind of steep transition. So they get something to drink from somewhere. Look at this. All right, so they cut the stream on us. That was. Oh, that's where the pizza is up there. I really want that. That was supposed to. There we go. There we go. I guess we again lost the signal. I hope we get a. No, the 5:30. Maybe we'll get the. Just get the train that don't have all them damn stuff. Thank you. Check out, friend. You have a good day now. It's good. You got some coffee. Food early. I brought my own. Look at this. You know what I paid for this? It's 5 $350. New York City, $350 for a freaking dollar effing freaking Arizona. I swear, I'm so tired and burned out from. I can't do it right now, but you guys will hear. You guys will hear. If it wasn't for this camera, that pussy was gonna pull some faggot shit and try saying I assaulted her. That's why you have to fucking have that camera, even if it's not on, man. You freaking front like it's on. But in my case, I didn't have to. Just look right at it and see his little face. Wow, it's gotta be warm with that black Bulls jacket on. Because it's black. I can't believe this may be the first year that we don't need the other, I don't know. I can't think of it. Just give me a second. The battery charger. That dude telling me burn in hell, man. He don't even understand. Fucking, this dude thinks he freaking read about a hell in a book. Where there's something that I learned in the rooms of AA and NA, right? Peep this. Religion is for people who are afraid of going to hell. They don't want to go to hell. I don't blame him. Whatever hell is, don't sound nice. Spirituality is for people who have been to hell and don't want to go back. And there's a few of you that have heard some of them stories. And then I just kind of stopped telling them because, quite frankly, the deprogram and, well, not the deprogram, but D-Live just changed to a different platform. And I felt less comfortable sharing parts of my own life and my own self with people the way I once did at D-Live. At least it's cold for fucking $3.50. Gosh, golly.
That's why I got. That's why I.
Oh man.
That's why I got.
T. Luke, there he is. What up, T. Luke? So I guess you were the one at YouTube. I got YouTube on because it's all I can have on that will let us watch later. It'll get uploaded to the YouTube channel immediately. The one with 1,800 subscribers. So, friends, I'll chop these up somehow, one way or the other, and then we'll figure out how to download them and whatnot. Oh. I don't know where, oh yeah, there's Ross and our other buddies. I mean, this Chinese guy, God bless him, man, but I listened to him for like a half an hour. I don't really like gematria, even when it's dope, but the Chinese guy, I don't know. All I could say is I'm glad I recorded him. He's a nice guy, I like him. You know what I mean? But I worry about him a little bit because that pamphlet he gave to me, that pamphlet is over 5 years old. And I'm just curious. I mean, yeah, granted, a lot of the pamphlets we give out are over 10 to 13 years old. I mean, the first guy that was here at like 10:30 in the morning trying to argue, you know what I mean? I had to tell him, you know, go to the 2009 Open Chemical Physics Journal. I said it's a peer-reviewed journal. You know, doctors have peer-reviewed journals and whatnot. Other doctors are doing with their tools and whatnot. Well, that's what this was. The 2009 Stephen Jones and Dr. Nell Sarrett of Copenhagen, Denmark, and Dr. Stephen Jones of the 9/11 Working Group, okay, of like I just said, Provo, Utah. Oh, isn't he cute? I had a golden retriever, look kind of like that. But anyways, so right. What the hell was I just saying, actually? No, I can't remember what I was saying. Freaking dog tripped me out. Anyway, we'll go over this stuff later because it'll all be on YouTube and it'll all be recorded. Usually I'm taking 4K or 1080, but it takes so much more freaking, it takes so much more of the phone to do it, With this, we're using, their cloud. We can download it if we need to. I can stop it manually every 30 minutes if we need to. That word went out about 7, 8, 9 years ago. So you never know what's going on, folks. You never know. That's why we got my man Ross over there holding it down. Got people talking conspiracy theory. Don't want to actually have a conversation about it. Just want to bump gums. That's par for the course, right? What's this, our 9th year down here? 2nd year of them having shut the shit down before it started. After they told us, yup, that's your spot. We'll arrest you if you're out front of Building 7. It's hard. It's even harder for young. I mean, my God, I was 36 years old when I was able to wrap my head around this and actually do the research. Kidding me? I was that little girl's age, my Lord. I was just barely, doing little bumps of dope, fucking getting a little chip. About 1994. But yeah, these schematics, okay, this now I'm talking being serious, these schematics, the t-shirts, all these things are tools, and they're tools that have worked in particular here at WTC. Now these things and friends, these have been here for now, this is their 3rd year here. You know how many bikes I've seen locked up here in 3 years? How does Dollar Visual Annie do it? 0. Right, Jeff Berwick? 0. Well, that's how many bikes I've seen locked up to these. 0. But anyway, yeah, the facts are right there. I mean, none of these are not facts. You do whatever you want with the information afterwards, but they are facts. So, anyways, and everybody's good, folks. You know what I mean? For 99.9, you know what I mean? Everybody wants to see everybody win for the most part. It's very confusing. It can be very confusing. It's very hard to give up your core beliefs. It's very hard to give up your core beliefs. I mean, imagine me at 37. How long do you think, friends? 37. You think if I made it till 40 and still didn't get it, you think it would have been too late? See, God bless her. She's at least looking into it. You know what I mean? Good for her. You know what I mean? But I don't think she realizes that she's looking at facts. These aren't written from 9/11 truthers. These are written from upper brass military personnel. These are written from the Lawyers Committee for 9/11 Inquiry. Now, it's not crazy. It's the Lawyers Committee for 9/11 Inquiry telling you that. I'm not a lawyer, but they are. I'm not an architect, but they are. I'm not military, but the people who wrote the things you were just looking at are. That's all, hon. See, she thinks I'm being mean to her right now, and I don't mean anything mean to her. I'm just letting her know that, look, I'm not upper echelon military, but the people who wrote those things, I'm just letting her see me point to you. The people that wrote those, they are. Those are facts. Now, that doesn't mean that 19 Arabs didn't knock down the buildings per se, but it does mean that what she looked at there are facts. And she's sitting there trying, with only 4 minutes to work with, to try and worm all of these. Look at Operation Northwoods, for God's sake. The president for 9/11, looking for proof that elements of our own government could plan and execute the 9/11 attacks to advance a military agenda? You mean it almost already happened in 1962? Among the recommended actions was a series of well-coordinated incidents to take place in and around the U.S. Navy base at Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. This included dressing friendly Cubans in Cuban military uniforms and then have them start riots near the main gate of the base. Others would pretend to be saboteurs inside the base. Ammunition would be blown up, fires started, airship in Guantanamo Bay, and blame Cuba. They proposed casualty lists in the U.S. papers and would cause a helpful wave of national indignation. This was a plan in 1962. It included drone aircraft. It included them blowing up drone aircraft and switching their transponder signals and saying that.
About 9/11 being an inside job, gotcha.
But that's, if it was that simple, you know what I mean? There'd be 2 pages at the end of the book.
You know what's worse than 9/11?
You know what I mean?
The Democrat Party.
If you voted Democrat, you got beat. If you voted Republican, you got beat. It's called a two. You know what I mean?
Right?
A two-party paradigm.
You're in a party.
No, I'm not in a party.
You're in a party.
I vote for a dead man. His name's Barry Goldwater. He's been Barry Goldwater. He's been dead for about 30 years. Anyway, see how people know everything until they actually know. This guy knows the party I'm with. Democrat. This guy's still back in the way, 2015 type, before fucking, he's still in the two-party paradigm. He's trying to ask me a load of questions. But anyway, so this is U.S. news. This isn't me. This isn't me just bumping my gums. This is ABC U.S. News. Military wanted to provoke war with Cuba. By David Roop. New York, May 1st, 2001. Oh, look at that. 6 months before 9/11. In the early 1960s, America's top military leaders reported drafted plans to kill innocent people and commit acts of terrorism in U.S. cities to create public support for a war against Cuba. This was 1962. Kennedy was the only one of the Joint Chiefs of Staff that would sign off on it. Codenamed Operation Northwoods. The plans reportedly included as the possibility assassination of Cuban boats of Cuban refugees on the high seas, hijacking planes, blowing up U.S. ships, and even orchestrating a violent terrorism in U.S. cities. The plans were developed as a way to trick the American public and the international community into supporting a war to oust Cuba's then new boats of terrorism in U.S. cities. The plans were developed as ways to trick the American public and the international community into supporting a war to oust Cuba's then new communist Fidel Castro. America's top military brass even completed Caucasus U.S. military casualties, writing, "We could blow up a U.S. ship in Guantanamo Bay and blame it on Cuba. And casualty lists in U.S. newspapers would cause a helpful wave of national indignation." This is U.S. ABC News, mainstream media. And you see how many people you have when you give them their mainstream media? Maybe I should wear an ABC t-shirt and people will listen. I mean, there's their ABC logo right there. What happened to little homegirl that wanted to sit there right behind me there and fucking whisper the word conspiracy theory? Fuck happened to her? All these things here doesn't mean that 19 Arabs didn't blow these buildings up, but they are true. They're all facts. I'm not upper brass military, but they are. I'm also not mainstream media, but ABS or CBS is, ABC is. What can you do? Yeah. So hopefully that kept recording. No idea why there's a little X up there, but whatever. Be the smoking hell after all that shit, man. Tomorrow my voice will sound all funny. I'll be back, brother.
All right, brother.
You bet, man. I'll be back. It's a beer garden. Lovely. I'd be in it like, yo, let me go finish my beer. I'll be right back. Probably like $10 for a Budweiser. $12 or something worth drinking. No, I don't know. But probably about right. Oh, hey, that guy in shape. God dang. Hey, you out of here?
Oh, I'm going over there.
Okay, yeah, that's where I just came from. I'm just going to puff another L and I'll be right back. Let's smoke a joint real quick. I'll see you in a bit. Yeah, that's why I keep going over there.
So where? They're like,
yeah, you'll see the schematics and whatnot.
Those guys just packed up. I wasn't really ready to leave yet.
Yeah,
so stayed for a little longer.
Or you go smoke a joint and then go back over there.
I feel like I was a little bit like, so here and some crazy person came.
Couldn't believe that Christian dude, man. Like, wow. And on 9/11, like, yo, I've given you 4 or 5 minutes. Like, oh, it's not for nothing. I'm a little busy. See? You know, I'm kind of came here busy. From Trenton, you know, I don't live out here. I'll see you in a minute. You know, like not for nothing, but I've been on a couple radio shows, and you got people that are on there that are doing 4 other things, just playing around, just doing this and that, and, you know, whatever. That's cool. I'm word. You know what I mean? Maybe you can do that. You know, often it'd be a little hard for me to read 3 different chats at 3 different platforms and keep the vinyl spinning, as it were, the MP4 spinning, and keep rocking the third-party analysis. But having said that, I'm there. You know what I mean? If I stay I'm there with my, you know, full attention and my full undivided attention, you know, I had to get up very early today, etc. And, you know, not for nothing, I sure haven't done talk radio for all that long. I've done the D program for 5 years. But I'd like to think I can sit at a bar and conversate with 6 or 7 of my other, you know, half-buzzed acquaintances. And if I can, you know, do that without pissing them off, pretty sure, I don't know exactly what I'm trying to say, but I'm pretty sure I can, you know, interject in and out when, you know, somebody is speaking and sounds pretty much like they're just about ready for somebody else to take over the mic. Granted, you're not always going to do that perfectly. But granted, every time you see me doing it perfectly or messing up, I will be doing that and only that. And not something else on the side, or 2 other things on the side, or what have you. One thing at a time. I'm serious about this. I don't do radio it's fun to talk about interesting things, but I don't do radio 4, 8, 12, 16, 24, 30 hours for free. I mean, granted, you guys hit that PayPal. God bless y'all. But you know what I mean? I don't do the radio 24 hours a week for no reason. You know what I mean? I do it because because they blew up a building bigger than that, 2 of them next to each other, and told us the things, told us about it. And I'm truly, 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 truly pissed. And that is why I'm here. Not to dick measure information about 9/11, not to dick measure information about God or what God may or may not be, not to dick measure any information. I love to talk about information. I love to learn information. I love to do all those things. I find it fascinating. You guys know that. But likewise. Oh my God, dude, where's that drink at? Oh, there it is, thank God. I was gonna say I paid $4 for that drink. I'll cry if I lose it. Well, I thought I might see a herb, what's it called, where they sell herb, didn't see none of them. I brought 5 joints. Okay, that was enough. Anyway, we're gonna have quite a bit to talk about. Let's put it like that. And the other thing is, as far as logistics, doing this stream a la 9/11, good idea. That's a loud bike. Anyway, I could probably be puffing right over there, but you just never effing know. You ain't gonna tell me how old you are. I should have freaking told him I was like 28 and then asked him how old he was. And when he was like, all right, well, you're like 5 years older than me. I'd be like, yeah, I'm actually pushing 50. So, yeah, I need to chill. Everybody all sitting here earlier eating their food, fucking bumming it. I can't even light up a fucking goddamn cigarette outside. She gonna blow like this. Ooh, stinky, stinky. Yo, man. I live out here in Manhattan. Brooklyn ain't like this. Queens ain't like this. Word up. You go fucking North Manhattan. C-Town ain't like this. Gotta be fucking kidding me. Holy boy, who don't know how to be holy, telling people have fun on your way to hell. What did I do to freaking that I was going to hell? You know what I mean? He was just giving me props for believing in God. Dude is so fucking lost. And then telling me, no, it's not John the Immerser. It's John the Baptist. It is sprinkling for the purpose of tradition. It isn't to immerse, to be new. Who? I should have got his denomination. Son of a bitch me. I should have got his denomination before I said fuck off to him, which I didn't. Because me, I'm not a Christian. What I do is I act the way I speak, and I speak the way I act. You know what I mean? And that's not to say that they're all like that, but I'll tell you what, if I was to sit here and do a ratio, you'd be talking 9 to 10. Easy. Uncanny. I just want to find one Christian. Well, not that I haven't, but I want to find one stranger Christian. A Christian that I don't know, that I just met, you know what I mean? That actually acts, I mean, like a Christian. IRL or, you know, D-Live, etc. You pick the platform. You mean you came down here to harass and undermine the deaths of 3,000 people on 9/11 in the name of God, and you're telling me I need to repent and go to hell? I literally, at that point, something went off in my head, and I went back and I said, who's paying you? Again, how many times do you ever hear me saying that? You remember me coming back from New York last year? You remember me saying this is the very first time you guys will ever hear me say this? You remember after that what I said? Me accusing the person that had the 4-color process glossy of the 2 and are you ready? And then you turn, you know, like indicating that, okay, this has something to do with 9/11 truth. Then you flip it over and you see all this weird jibber jabber. It's not even books. It's not even straight quotes from the Bible. It's like Psalms, but not in the right order. And it's like you could tell. They freaking are out there on 9/11, on the one day that's dedicated, obviously. I'm sure it doesn't need to be said, and if it does, you're the one that needs the loony bin. You know what I mean? That's their day for their graves. And you're out here. The one guy was out there on his soapbox, literally a soapbox he was standing on. And his agenda was legalize all drugs. That was his agenda. You know what I mean? Granted, fine, that's what America's for, but not on 9/11. You see what I'm saying? Just like the anti-CCP meeting last year. It's 9/11. Okay? They gave them their batteries, they gave them their microphones, they gave them all their auditory equipment. They gave them not 1 street, 2. They gave them an entire square intersection and a stage. Whose stage do you think that is? You think they brought that in? No, it's owned by the city of New York. They rented that permit. So, T-Luke, thanks for hanging out. I'm surprised there's not more hanging out. I guess if we were at D-Live, there would be. I think we'll probably go to D-Live and see what happens. See, the only thing is, with this, it's going to be for good. That's the only reason I'm not. I mean, I'll just play it for you guys tomorrow, all y'all that didn't peep it, you know? I mean, I don't know if you want to put something on your thing, T-Luke and D-Live, like, you know, if it's dirty work, you know, live for 9/11. I didn't know I was going to get hit with this BS. I'm not going to go live, be able to go live from Rumble. So, but T. Luke, you're the man. You helped me get here. I appreciate that more than you know, brother. That goes for Carrie Ray. That goes for Didgeridoo. You know, you guys got me here, man. You know, you guys are more my family than my family. Seriously. No shit. That's pretty effed up, ain't it? You guys are closer to me than my blood family. My viewers. Let's say I got locked, God forbid, and needed to get bailed out or something like that. Not saying it's your guys, certainly not your responsibility. But if I was going to call anybody and I had the number, it would be one of y'all. It wouldn't even be a blood relative. Isn't that, wild? I mean, I don't know. I guess I don't mean to talk crap about my family. That's not the goal here. But wow. Pardon me, friends. A frog in my throat. All right, I only got that much left, all right? I'm working on it, friends. I'm working on it, all right? I'm working on it. Ah! Fucking teeth are snaggle. Snaggle teeth. Yeah, I know. That's called a cracker that lived. That's called a cracker that lived a rough life. Darn it, I mean, foods. Whoopsie. Yeah, I know Dirty knew how to fucking spin, right? Records. You know how to spin records. L's, I mean. But goodness. See what that cold, right? Look at that. See, the reason we're not here anymore is because they gave us the spot that was ours for the last 16 years back at 3 o'clock, just like they always do. So all that huss and fuss, remember before? Remember how they was going to cuff me and stuff me because he bumped up against my face or whatever? And then he was making all that, and I told him, nah, not without a white shirt. And he's like, no. He said, I'm the supervisor. That's that. I should have called 911, but and white shirt there. But there's a package down here, all right? We're not in LA. We're not in LA. We're in New York City. I'm literally standing 500 feet away from where this shit freaking, happened. It's a little different. So there's, rightfully so, a pecking order. And, I mean, it's on YouTube. It was live streamed. That's the only reason that cop freaking checked himself and stayed on his P's and Q's. As he liable to, lose his job if he didn't. But if this wasn't running, 100 of y'all watching him, totally different story. Almost look like MJ but with a haircut. And look, there you go, breaking down. It makes it wonder what, right? To remind us it's not congregate. I almost forgot. Oh, hey, how you doing? What's up? So they're all there. Hey, have a good one, brother.
Thank you.
Did they really just take them down because they didn't want you leaning up against their shit?
They told me 3 o'clock.
Oh, all right.
Is it 3 o'clock?
Last year they gave. Last year at 3 they gave us the. Yeah, but.
I'm not going to remember. That's what they told me to go before. Yeah, they told me earlier.
Dude. Were you here last year when that a school principal came out and the kid, and they tried to pull some more bullshit side like, oh, the kid got bullied and harassed, and can you take your stuff down? Yeah, I came over, and I didn't, I've been down here a little long enough to know my place, and but I also take, what I mean? I'm one of the guys that like, if you need, bring me over. And I brought a camera, because it's the only thing they seem to give free shits of the sideways fuck about, Until the advent of the camera, I didn't see anything that made the cops behave, period, And then this came out, and then they wanted to keep their jobs, and then that was that. Basically they thought twice is what happened, and after thinking twice, that's just how the human brain works. I'm not saying we don't need to think twice too. You know what I mean? I need to think 5 times. So anyhow, what do we got here? Are we so bored? We're gonna freaking eavesdrop and voyeur on the last 3 freaking 9/11 truth people around. Is that what this is? We're gonna scrape the last 4 2025 all Bessie Street when you've all taken the entire. Is that what it is? Just curious. How you doing, brother, man? You all right? I'm hanging in there. Nobody'd listen if I complained anyway. Not y'all, certainly. White shirt would listen. White suit, dirty listen. Yeah, well, I like it, though, that they at least take a look, you know what I mean? Because it is facts. I mean, whatever we have to say, these aren't our words. We didn't write these. These are written by upper echelon military, MSM, scientists, architects, and engineers. But we didn't write any of these. Yep. The police, I mean, really, they're the ones we need the most. And God bless them. They're being played.
No, que son.
I'm sorry, I forgot about y'all. I'm all over the place here.
I think at this point, because they also don't.
They were asked the guy, the first guy that I told him to look at the Open Chemical and Physics Journal. What does that say at the very top of this? The Open Chemical and Physics Journal, 2009, active thermetic material catastrophe. Do I even need to read it anymore beyond that? Did I not say 2009 to that very first dude that we have on YouTube that we spoke to? Did I not tell him Dr. Nelson Parrott? Did I not tell him Dr. Stephen Jones? Did I not tell him the University of Maine? Did I not tell the 9/11 working group out of Provo, Utah? God bless you. There's two kinds of facts. Those looked up and those made up. And these aren't our facts. None of us wrote these. This is Jim Malachowski, DC, the Pentagon. This is ABC News. This is the 2009 Open Chemical Physics Journal. And that's just a physics journal. You know, that's for folks that, doctors have physics journals for doctors, for other doctors to read. They're interested in the different treatments that come out. Well, this is for, people that build buildings and take them down. And they were very surprised of the thermite, let alone finding 6% in all 32 checked for samples. That's 6 parts per 100, 6%. Microscopic iron microspheres that you need a micron telescope to see. And that's what they show right there. Right there, what they found in the bottom left-hand corner. And it shows where they found it just above that. I mean, this isn't stuff that we wrote. This is stuff, we made the signs, but we didn't write the articles or anything like that. That's the 2009 Open.
So how's your idea?
Wait a second. Because I hate when people say that.
So when did you serve the IDF?
What's this about?
So Israeli fucking. I know that accent.
Yeah.
Science.
I don't think he's IDF. I think he's pumped.
I think
Serious question.
I know people in the IDF.
David Lynch is a.
If you're IDF, then you already know all this.
I'm not IDF.
Oh, I'm sorry, brother. I'm listening to him. I shouldn't. You're right, man.
That's okay.
So David Lynch is saying questions 9/11. That's what. I'm not.
That's not what we.
Those people have.
Well, these things are.
Yeah, these are all facts.
Extra teeth. One of the things, right? I don't believe
now. What a great. great question. And I mean, you're kind of asking the right question. 2020, whatever. I've been doing a show called The Deprogram on D-Live, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday morning, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And we go over false flags, we go over American soft targets, we go over 9/11, you know, UCC, maritime admiralty law, et cetera, Jordan Maxwell type stuff. What I would say is it just happened. I like to give it a week. I mean, some people for 3 days.
Look at who benefits from it.
Yeah. You look at who benefits from it, but I really try not to go right away. I mean, it's so gotta be. Yeah, I've heard that. I haven't seen it, but I heard because I was on a radio show last night called Vixen's Vault from 9 to 11, and anyway, they were saying that the blood had looked like paint, you know, and you know they did that on London's Bridge when they pretended like with the Cuisinart knife to take the person's head off. It looked like Krylon paint. And it was like here's black, and it was like red over the black. It wouldn't look like that. It would look like water. It would look like waterfall. That's what blood would look like.
Philly?
Yeah, I'm from Philly. Yeah.
I grew up in South Jersey, so
I heard.
I hear
I'm from Trenton now.
I hear water, and I know.
Yeah, water. Not water. Water.
100%.
It's gotta be, dude.
No way that was not.
I tell you what, you want to hear something crazy? I don't even know who the fucking guy is, man. I don't even know who that dude is. I don't fuck with the mainstream like that. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't fuck with the right, the left. And that's not to say, oh, I should. I should at least dedicate 10 minutes a day to checking out the propaganda as they pump it out. That way, how can you fight your enemy if you don't know the propaganda?
There's no way.
Yeah, I know. None of it makes any sense.
Hey, I gotta catch a train.
Yeah, it's nice talking to you, man. You take care. Great question, man.
I'm not U.S. military.
I know. We already established what military. I know. Like I said, he's not in the U.S. military. Must be another military of some kind. I wonder which.
Well, did he? Oh, so he said U.S. military.
Hey.
Yeah, I think he's bumping his
Well,
guns.
that's
I mean, he's
when he
kind
when he showed afterward, that's the one that set him off.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely believe that part. Let's just look at his eye. Yeah.
It's not U.S. military, though.
Yeah. You should be proud, man, and you know you are. Fuck him.
No, he has
Couldn't answer that question.
He has to go speak to his.
Yeah, he's got to go talk to his handlers now. Should have asked him how much he was getting paid to come over here and fake the funk. Fucking fruitcake.
Well, you always had to have something, right?
No.
Is that? So anyway, you see how I mean, well, there's somebody watching, man. It would have been nice just to listen to the audio. I want to get out of everyone's way, dude. I don't want to. Here's my blood. I don't want to get. I don't want to block anybody from, seeing. Seeing information.
You got the Bible Belt, man. I think I know. I remember the name. He's a big olive.
And this is one of the small pleasures that I get anyway. It's a shame I have to wait till about 3 o'clock to indulge a little bit in it, but that's watching folks take a look at not stuff that we wrote, and not even stuff that the upper echelon, like Ken O'Keefe and such, the best of the speakers that we have of our, whatever you want to call it, 9/11 exposure groups have to offer. this is directly from mainstream media. I mean, thank God there's like James Gordoff, well, he doesn't call it, but it's called open source news, meaning they always leave the sources. That way you can go back and check their sources and see, do you decide, okay, they, held true to their heart in terms of their sources. It makes sense they use these 5 sources because I watched the hour-long documentary, and yeah, it was a good mixture of those 5 sources. Like if there are 5 records, they made a good mixtape out of it, type of deal. Or no, I feel they did it terrible, and they could have done a better job. Blah blah blah. He only used 2 parts of the first link, but the second link he used like the whole thing, and just so that type of thing. But to get the IRL, and just see folks kind of peeping over what upper echelon military wrote out, and what was just basically everything right there is just history that they kept out of our history books. They didn't tell about Operation Northwoods. They sure shit didn't tell me about it. They didn't tell, this is all history that they just didn't tell us about. Now, this stuff about the hijackers and them not changing their names and 10 of them being alive the next day, yet they still didn't change like most of their names. Some people know about that, people don't. You know what I mean? But the fact is that it's written there, and if it's written there, that it's a fact. Because these are the same schematics that have been here since my very first year coming here in 2018 on 9/11. 2018. It should have been 2017. That's a whole nother story. I was stuck in Florida. But anyway, these have been down there years before then. And, they were all rendered from absolute, Pentagon sources, ABC sources, that it's not that we need to see ABC at the bottom is something to trust it, but many people do. So it kind of just helps. Sometimes it can save 10 or 15 minutes of otherwise wasted time. And I don't know. Apparently there was a dude here earlier, and he did look like a big mother effer. I mean, he did look kind of IDF-ish, but I don't know, man. I think he was just bumping his gums and talking shit. If he was IDF, he would know that they would know at least certainly that they had involved, and they'd be proud. He wouldn't be looking at this shit and shit. I'll tell you what he's doing. He's looking at all this and knows all this shit is truer than true. He better put on my act and put it good, and start shaking my head and start using the word conspiracy theory. Because if I don't start putting on an act like that, then there's going to be even more people looking at this, That's what the dude's thinking. The guy that looked like the IDF, he sees 10 people looking at this shit. And, oh, shit, man, they're looking at it, but they're looking at it seriously. They're not laughing. So, yeah, he's looking at everybody else not laughing. So he says, boy, I better put on an act. And just, because he was walking away and he was going some shit like this. And it was like, nah, not conspiracy theory. You know what I mean? That word went out the freaking with a lot of different words in 2020. Also looking for conspiracy theory now, just even a UFO or some type of shit, because even that's fucking real now with the Jersey drones. You know what I mean? Like, there are no more conspiracy theories. All them shits are true. They're all conspiracy fact. For most of them, 90% of them. Hey.
You still broadcasting?
Yeah. Only because with YouTube, I'll be able to download this and use it and chop it up and that type of thing, and use the audio. Yeah. Now, if I was just using the like cord, I could do that, but it would use so much more of the effing phone. Yeah, it gets all hot and it burns out the battery all fast.
I got you. Yeah. This is great. I remember seeing these in different years.
Yeah, these are
They
great.
come back out.
It sucks that we don't have the ones with the great big marker. You know, we used to have them, you know, the ones that went all the way from the end of there all the way up here.
Okay.
And they said everything from, you know, 3 towers, not 3 buildings, 3 towers.
Yeah.
47. Did you know a third? You know, everything. And it really was a great thing to get folks to kind of attract them closer. And then they would see this. And then that would attract them even closer. And then they'd be right over them being educated.
Yeah.
It's so much easier for them to go and read these than it is for them to ask us. Like me, I'm the talkative. You know what I mean? I'll be wanting to know the answer a lot. You know what I mean? So I got no problem asking people. But you know, you're like, what's this fucking this crazy? He's freaking. You know what I mean? He's asking questions. He's freaking. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, whatever. You know what I mean? But it really is a lot. That's what those things were great for on Facebook, man, because it would come up to us. You know,
Yeah.
they'd see Claudio Marti's stamp on our picture, and they'd be like, you know, what is that? And you'd be like, oh, I thought you'd never ask. You know, you got 10 minutes? 15? Oh, yeah, they got 50 until they find out what it's for. I don't got 10 minutes anymore.
A few minutes would be help.
Yeah, even, you know, and it's 3 minutes, whatever. The one dude I was talking to, I said, well, I mean, you know, he goes, you're not, I said, well, dude, you're asking me a question, and then you're giving me 7 seconds to answer, and then you're cutting me off, dude. I said, you can either ask me and I can answer, or do whatever, man. And he goes, all right, answer. I go, all right. I said, it's going to take about 30 seconds, okay? And you know what I mean? And I'm speaking. It comes up 7, 8. I've been doing this for a really long time, you know what I mean? 7, 8. It's right about 10, between the 9 and 10. And he starts trying to, I said, dude, I guess it's still got about 15 seconds to go. It was 20, but I had 15 to go. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, you can't even get through 10 seconds, let alone 30. Like, you gotta learn to, you know, right, you never fucking got a gal, man, because if you don't know how to do it with a gal, you go alone. You know, you gotta learn how to at least pretend to listen. But you know what I mean? It's true, man. Oh, man. God bless Oh, wow. If I do that, no, watch.
We're not trying to Daddy. We just want to talk about information. Unfortunately, Derek Legacy is
Wow. Shit, what time is it? Well, hey. All right, friends. It's 1:22. I don't want super long things that I got to chop up. Let's manually cut it. I'm gonna come back to D Live. So let's see what we do at D Live, and maybe we can one of y'all can do the wonderful favor of showing me how to go ahead and download from the section at D Live, the section. All right, friends. T. Luke, you're the man. Everybody else, Carrie Ray, RK612, PJ Angel, everybody else has stopped through YouTube and said what's good. We may be back on We Not Show, but I love y'all. And if I don't see you on the other side of the glass, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Tompkins Square, I'll see you tonight.
Where is it? Thompson Square, you know?
Tompkins Square Park.
Oh, that's right, Tompkins Square
Dusk.
Park. Oh man, I won't
Dusk.
be there.
You can't stay?
I can't stay, but I wish I could be there. I'll be there in spirit. It's so good to see you.
Well, if you change your mind, that's where.
Tompkins Square Park,
That's
thanks.
where Eric's gonna set up the video. They won't bother him then.
No, they won't. Believe me, I
I'm
do.
gonna go make more copies. I just found a place. It happens to be right here. 100 copies, two-sided for $20.
All through COVID, from 2020 to 2023, when they opened up the clubs, there was nowhere anybody could dance, and we opened up like illegal. You know, we got turntables. We went into places
Yeah.
like check it out. The what's it called? Way uptown. It's called hold on. Give me a second. I'll think of it. It's Washington Heights Square Park. It's in Washington Heights. And
great.
we played there for a year and a half, and then it was the Park Service, not even the NYPD, and the police station was right there. And it was the Park Service that kicked us out. Then we went down to the Lower East Side Park. We played there for another year. And then finally they let the clubs open again.
Remember the Pink Louds?
Pink Louds.
Yeah, they would do shows at the park.
Oh, that sounds
People were
familiar.
going nuts because they've been cooped
At
up
the
for so long.
amphitheater.
Well, we don't have an amphitheater
Oh.
anymore. The cops knocked us down.
Oh, wow. Because the LES.
Before they closed.
All right. Take care. It was so good seeing you. Bye-bye. You have a good one.
See you online.
Did Rebecca leave? Rebecca Fusco?
Rebecca never made it. That was Fern.
That's who?
Fern.
Oh, son of a gun, you're right.
Rebecca has a sprained wrist and she couldn't make it.
Okay, God bless her. Oh, wow, you're right. My goodness. Wow, that's so weird. Huh. Okay, well, you know what? I guess I better get going, too. I got a long ways ahead of me.
Never go to Tompkins Square Park tonight.
All right, let's shut things down. All right, I think we might kick rocks, friends. Kick rocks before we end up in the freaking tank, yo. Freaking between the cops and between these freaking people that come down here to distract us. They're probably being paid. Maybe they're not. But on 9/11, if you don't know any better than whatever your agenda is, than to come do it some other place than right where 9/11 happened, you might want to, I don't know, get a new agenda maybe. If your agenda is the type of agenda that can come to the, WTC on 9/11 and flex, it's, I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. And I'm very glad. Wait, is this thing recording or what? Okay. Oh, crap. I never said. All right. Well, whatever. I stand by what I say. That'd be a MC Dirty Work quote and endorsed by MC Dirty Work. For him for taking a look, Good for him. And good for him for riding a bicycle. Bicycles rule. Bicycles kick ass, man. I mean, I got hit real hard on one, but I also rode like 10 miles a day. All right, let me shut me hole and try to get down to the train and get back to where I need to be. All right, friends. I don't know. Yeah, real quick. We'll go over this quickly.
I think that's good. You guys will never know what that's like.
This got the one dude pissed. I don't know why I'd be pissed. He should be proud if he's IDF. He said, "I'm military. I'm not American military." Is that? And I'm being honest. I'm honest. I'm being honest right now. Was that the dude's real answer? Or was that like his way of fishing to see if we like the IDF or do not like the IDF? Look, there goes the photo. You can see, if you go see the back on my one of the right there, that is a ton section of I-beam flew 500 feet laterally. What made that high? 500 feet to the side. I could see if something dropped, but something flying 500 feet to the side and implanting itself to where I'm pointing at a picture of right there, sticking outside the Amex building. I ain't making it up. That's the American Express building with a great building one sticking out the side of it. Due to the picture, you can't build it. The floors, it's floors ripped through. 500 feet. Now you tell me what can make a building one 500 feet laterally. Because I have no idea. You tell me what can dump the Winter Garden atrium like that. There's ABC News. U.S. military wanted to provoke war with Cuba by David Root, New York, May 1st, 2001. And this is probably the most important one on this entire thing. This proceeds to show you they had a 9/11 type thing already plotted to get Cuba into war. And JFK was the only person that said no go when it came to the Joint Chiefs of Staff. It's right there. ABC News by David Root. I mean, that's not to say that everything by ABC News is true, but I don't think they're going to do stuff to make their bosses look that bad. I think they know a little bit better than that, even all the way back in 2001. So, that's a good idea. I should bring flowers, or something like that. I never thought to, but it's a good idea. All right, well, let's pack everything up, I guess. Some drinks. Oh, didgeridoo. Finally, there you are. Right as I'm about to pack her up, pack her in, here comes didgeridoo. What's up, didgeridoo? How you doing, brother man? Well, check it out, man. T-Luke, didgeridoo, everybody else out there in YouTube land and D-Live land and Rumble land and BitChute land and Twitch land and all the other syndicated places that we podcast to. D-Live every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday morning from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. That's Eastern Standard Time, New York City time. Anyway, we're New York right now. Get over. Didgeridoo. T want to give us special for hitting PayPal. Awesome. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But just thank you. We did what we had to do. We got an awful lot of footage via running it live on YouTube rather than doing it, I don't know, 180K, what do they call it, 4K, God forbid, on, it's just too much, It makes a 1 hour video something like an entire gigabyte. So we fixed it all out. We figured it all out. We did our house cleaning, as it were, and all is well. So with that, didgeridoo, T-Luke, everybody else, I can't thank you enough for stopping by the D program. And I tell you what, let's see. I'll put this for a moment. Let me put the stick away, the selfie stick. Bottom first, and maybe 10 minutes. For 1 second, let's see. I got my wallet, my phone, I got my keys. Well, let me make sure I got my keys. Yeah, there's my. Boy, always gotta make sure you have your keys. All right, I'm pretty sure that's it. All right, that's it, friends. Let us go try to find a train in New Jersey. I think we can get the E train right there, but let's say peace to everybody. Hey, man, it was nice talking.
Yeah. Okay.
You have one. All right. God bless you too. It was good seeing you. You take care. As always. I remember you. You crazy, not crazy, but you that crazy girl that was wilding out, right? You had a cast on or something. You have F some girl up, no? You didn't have a cast on because you whooped some girl ass? Oh, all right. There was some girl that had like a cast on because she had beat up some other girl. And I was just like, yeah,
What happened in that horse?
You a live streamer?
yeah, I'm a live streamer.
What you think?
And think about that.
MC Dirty Work. I'm on D Live that's my live thing since 2020. Every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard. But you can find me uploading at BitChute. I got 1.5K. At YouTube, I got 1.88K. Yeah, at YouTube, that's what I'm right now. I'm doing YouTube right now. You got 1,000 to go from YouTube. I got almost 2,000 at YouTube. But that's because I've been there since 2015. This thing was, wanted this. I guess if they wanted, they would have taken it. But this thing was hanging by the dirt of my teeth, dude. Only reason. Yep. And I mean, only reason. Yep. And I mean, blacked out. It's effing YouTube. But it's a great way to show people, come over to Rumble, come over to BitChute, come over to D-Live. I mean, D-Live, they don't even hit you for freaking copyright, dude. Unless like somebody snitches on you. So D-Live, I mean, if